Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of In My Dreams. And in this episode, you guys, we're going to talk about how YouTubers are now getting deported out of Thailand. Yes, you guys, it's official. It's happening. And here is Gone Adrift. This is his channel. He's actually one of the YouTubers that got deported. I am a subscriber, so man, I wish it didn't happen to him, but unfortunately it happened, and he did make a vlog about it. So we're gonna watch his vlog. We're gonna make it real quick too, but check this out.
The country, and we must return to either where we just came from or our country of nationality. Having just come from Vietnam, luckily I had my laptop with me, so I was able to connect to the airport Wi-Fi and find a flight back to Da Nang in Vietnam and book the first available flight the following morning at 8 a.m. But other
Yeah, so he just said that he arrived in Bangkok and they didn't let him go into Thailand, so he had to try to book a flight back to Vietnam, and that's basically what's gonna happen here. You'll see.
others, they were not so lucky, with limited reception, with flat phone batteries, no laptops, insufficient funds, credit card issues overseas, etc., etc. Everyone that couldn't book a ticket like I was able to was left in the waiting room.
All right, we'll just skip to the next part here.
Shift latch padlock system. The guard gestured for me to go through the door. I stepped in and the door was closed behind me. And to my horror, I saw the faces of scared and confused looking detainees. And I realized at this point, I was now in detention.
Yeah, so he actually got put into the immigration cell in the airport, and we're gonna skip to the next part real quick. There we go. All right, this is inside the cell.
The end of the world.
Two of my friends were denied entry after repeated visa-exempt stays. For years, many long-term expats used this loophole, and immigration didn't care much because the situation wasn't urgent. But now that criminal networks are exploiting these gaps, immigration is shutting the loophole entirely.
Now, I'll leave it to you to decide whether I was in Thailand for cybercrime, money laundering, or fraud.
So yeah, we're gonna skip to the part to where he just puts his business out there. You guys can listen to it. He put all of his business out there. That's on him. So you guys can just watch this real quick.
Or suspected crime and other such visa breaches. I'd been on an education visa for the last few months after having been in and out of Thailand for the last 2 years. And I knew that it was risky to leave Thailand and travel to Vietnam for work and then come back, because the expectation is that you'll remain in country for the whole 12 months. But me being me, I rolled the dice, took the chance, and hoped that I could travel to Vietnam, make some travel videos, stack up some YouTube cash, and then
See guys, this is exactly what you don't want to do. Just don't do this. Like, he just said that he was, doing this for 2 years, and then just in the hopes of traveling around, and to make some money. Like, guys, don't do that. If you're gonna be, a professional, journalist or photographer or YouTuber, just make sure you're doing it the right way, because this will happen to you, and you don't want this to happen to you because it could possibly break you. So just be careful, you guys. Any of the ones that are coming in trying to start this up, I like Gone Adrift. I'm a subscriber. I'm hoping that he's gonna figure this out, but we'll see, you guys. Just don't do this. Trust me, just don't.
and then return to the student cycle. Now, I'd spent the night on the laptop in detention researching my entry into Vietnam and throwing options around in my head. And I knew, because it was a Friday night going into a weekend, the immigration department, the office is not open.
Trying to apply for a emergency tourist visa back to Vietnam. It's a Friday night at 8 p.m. and the offices are closed at 4. It's highly likely that when I get to Da Nang, I'll either be sent back to Oz.
So yeah, as you said again, he already knew that this could possibly happen, and look, it happened. So we're just gonna move to the next part. You can actually see him in the plane as he gets deported.
And right to the gate
Plane.
of the plane that would take me over to Da Nang, Vietnam.
So they boarded me first on the flight back to Da Nang, 8 a.m. this morning. In the back row, like in the movies, you know, where the criminal's there with his handcuffs and everyone's like, who's that?
Yikes. Alright, we'll just move to his next video, you guys. He just talks about, he's back deported in Australia. And he just tells you what's going on. He tells you what's happened. You can actually watch this whole video, guys. I recommend it, so you can see like what he's up to. But here you go.
A special mention to Aaron and Keezy, who lovingly packed up my apartment, boxed up all my belongings and camera gear and clothes and crap, and have stored that for me for the future. Thank you, boys.
So yeah, there he just said his buddies in Thailand had to go and pack up his apartment and clean it up, because he can't get back in. So yeah, it's a real thing that's happening right now, you guys. It's over. The border runs are over. It's official. And then Gone Adrift, I hope you get back soon. Yeah, man. Maybe we'll see you around soon. Maybe I'll see you at Mac's bar, Mac TV's bar. I'm cool with Mac, so I'll see you around. This isn't a diss video or anything. This is just a informational video for people. I support you, man. I've been watching you for a while too, so no pressure. Check out this next video, guys. This is for information of actually what's going on. This is Cal. Cal's girl actually works in immigration, so he gets all the legit facts because that's the source right there. So I always listen to Cal because he's basically the source to everything. So just listen to what Cal has to say about this. He has all the information.
Misinterpreted this to mean that there is a 2-limit cap on visa exempt entries, and there isn't. And here's where we get to enforcement. Immigration officers specifically classify entry types based on duration of stay and patterns. Repeated long stay entries nearing the 60 or 90-day cap are classified as visa or border runs. The 2 entry limit only applies to these visa run entries, and it applies for both land and air arrivals. Conversely, if you enter 5 or 6 times, staying for a week or 2 each time, immigration does not classify these as visa or border runs. There is no limit.
As Cal just said, if you're one of those that come in 5, 6 times, 10 times a year, 1 week, 2 weeks at a time, you're good. That is obviously approved because clearly you're not living. You're just coming back and forth, on your little vacations. So that's that. So you guys don't worry about that. Next.
So we have clarity on the target, but how is enforcement actually playing out? The single biggest red flag is the number of visa-exempt days spent in Thailand. And currently, anything over 150 is very likely to result in a denial. That's 1 visa-exempt entry for 60 days, followed by an extension for a total of 90. And then a second 60-day entry, while the second extension has been limited to just 7 days. But the timeline on these entries lacks clarity.
All right, so what he just said, if you stayed in Thailand for over 150 days this year, you're going to be definitely most likely denied entry again. So, and then over here where it says 60 days, 30 days, that's your extension, and then you could come back in again for 60 days, but they're only going to let you extend for 7 days. They're going to give you a week to leave at that point. That's kind of confusing because that's just for right now. I don't even think that's actually this is only going to be for people that they're trying to stop living in Thailand. They're not going to do this for everybody, but that's not even going to last long either. So that's really confusing for people because that's not going to be, valid for everyone, and not even for a long time. But it's going to go back to the 60-30 for sure. And then here's a little bit more information, you guys, on what's actually going on.
It's fair to assume that it applies to a calendar year, but a concentrated pattern of entries will raise red flags, even if it spans 2 years. And officers can view your entire travel history dating back years, which includes different passports, as everything is biometrically linked. Long-term visa exempt entry patterns that resemble residency may influence immigration decisions. There have also been plenty of questions about annual patterns, say visiting Thailand for 150 days each year. Many people come during the winter months, effectively spending part of the year in Thailand. Immigration is not specifically targeting this behavior, as it's generally viewed as a type of tourism, but it could still lead to questioning.
So yeah, they're saying that if you're a snowbird, you're good. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to ask you a couple questions, but that's it. But clearly, if you've been one of those, tourists that come in just for snowbirds, you're good. So they're just going to see, they're going to look on your calendar and they're clearly going to see that. But they're going to ask you, like, are you living here? And just say, nah, I'm just here for vacation. And you're going to be good. So don't worry about that. Y'all are all good, okay? Chill.
And here's the thing, until 2024, this group normally just used multiple entry tourist visas for this type of travel. The METV allows people to stay in Thailand for up to 6 months, leaving once and re-entering. And it was intended for precisely this type of longer-term stay, while the exemption was meant for shorter trips. So if you want to ensure that you avoid any hassles, simply apply for the METV in advance. It brings us back to the whole point of the crackdown. The exemption was never intended as a long-stay visa. The goal here is to push people to the correct visas, and there are plenty of options. And for many, this is the Destination Thailand Visa, or DTV, which is a 5-year multiple entry visa, which removes all the uncertainty around visa and border runs. The only caveat, you need to show at least 500,000 baht in your home bank account, which ensures you can support your stay. And this makes sense. But there is also a security rationale. Proper visas allow authorities to vet people who are essentially living in the country.
So yeah, y'all, that's basically it. That's for this video. It's over, y'all. Officially over. No more border runs for now. So just don't do it, you guys. That's gonna be my recommendation. And then this isn't gonna be, this isn't gonna last forever. Thailand's just doing this now because they got a lot going on. They're still dealing with Cambodia, and then they're still dealing with Myanmar. So they got stuff going on their borders, that's actually really serious. So that's, they're trying to get rid of that. And then they got other things they got to worry about, bro. They got this whole train system that they're trying to catch up on. They got a lot of things, and they're trying to get tourism back up, yo. So this ain't gonna last forever, but for right now, they're just trying to wean out, the bad stuff. Same thing's happening in America, you guys. Trump is doing it the most, I guess, the unfair way. Trump's doing the most unfair way, but I get it. I'm an American, so I completely understand. But this is how Thailand's doing it. You can watch the couple videos before this. You can see the good and bad news of what's actually happening behind this too. So I'll link that video right here actually, so you guys can watch that. But all right, guys, peace, like and subscribe. Thank you for coming back to watch In My Dreams. Peace.